Welcome back to Live Vedanta, a podcast about simple living and high thinking. We're amidst our Meditation in Life series. Each week, going through systematically the process of preparing oneself for meditation. If you want to join in on the series from the very beginning, find the link in our show notes and it will guide you to the very first episode of Meditation in Life. And for the rest of you who've been with us on this journey thus far, we're happy to see you, and we hope that this finds you happy and healthy amidst all that is going on in the world today. This summer, if you're interested in staying accountable and engaged with the broader community, we encourage you to join our yoga challenge, wherein you will walk, and write every single day for the broader purpose of self-development. Curious and want to learn more? The link is in our show notes. Okay. So what's going on in today's episode? In this episode, Vivekji guides us on how to silence the mind. We learn what prevents us from having a quiet mind and how acting with intention leads to purification, which in turn creates a silent mind. Let's tune in.
Hari Om and greetings from Niagara Falls. If you analyze all of your past desires that you're conscious of, like a desire to travel to a certain place or a desire to befriend someone, all of your past desires that you're conscious of, your expectation with every one of those desires was that you would be happy. You would be happy once and for all. Did it work according to your plan? Okay. If you analyze all that you've acquired and discarded in your life, all that you've created, all that you've destroyed, the expectation in all of this acquisition and dispersal was that you would be happy. Did this work out according to plan? No. Our course is a systematic study of our past so that our future is not a failed attempt at being happy. And through this systematic study, if one has faith, happiness is not coming through desires, happiness is not coming through acquisition and disposal. That means I have to be happiness. And that's what our Meditation in Life course is hoping to achieve for all of us. Our last chapter, the focus was Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra is a prayer. It is a mantra for clarity. When there's more clarity in your heart, tell me what other virtue comes with that. The more clear you are, the more this you will be. Share with me. You will be more? Very good. There'll be more conviction, there'll be more confidence. You will be more courageous. Lack of clarity is sometimes described as the unknown. And when you bring in clarity, the unknown becomes known. We're not afraid of that, we're courageous. This prayer, this mantra is isolating what the sun does for the world for knowledge to do to my intellect. We're now on the 19th chapter, which is entitled Silence the Mind. Every one of us needs happiness, and we're living accordingly. This is the fundamental, primal need. There's an error in how we're approaching this, though. The error is we are living for objects. Objects are finite, and all that is finite is dying. I could use a lighter word like changing, but I'm purposefully using the word dying. So I'm living for that which is dying. Will that fulfill my need for happiness? And if I'm living for objects, that means I'm forgetting about the subject. If an object is finite, obviously the subject has to be infinite. If an object is dying or changing, obviously the subject is living or changeless. Will that fulfill my need for happiness? This will fulfill my need for happiness. If we end our expectation that objects will fulfill our need for happiness, we will be happy. Internalize that a lot. If we end our expectation that objects will fulfill my need for happiness, we will be happy then. As long as we have that expectation that objects will bring in happiness, I will keep being disappointed. I will keep feeling like I'm a failure. So how do I end this expectation? So many of us are involved with our families, and a major source of conflict in families is mismanaged expectations. The same in the workplace, correct? The same even with service committees. So how do you end this expectation? It is through contemplation. Now, even this doesn't seem so practical. I want to end expectations, so now you're telling me to contemplate. Contemplation, another meaning or feeling behind this is identification. So we'll take this to a very high level and then we'll bring it to a relative level. Share with me, what is the last thought that you are ever going to have before you are happiness? What's the last thought? I am unhappy. That's the last thought you're going to have. The last thought you're going to have is Aham Brahma Asmi. I, infinite am, or I am happiness. And when that thought is no longer there, you will be happiness. Just like I want to sleep, and when the thought is not there, I am sleeping. When you identify with happiness, you become happiness. When you don't identify with happiness, you don't become happiness. This identification has to be with what we are and not what we're not. This chapter, the focus is knowing what you are not. In the Upanishad, we call this na iti or neti. And one of the best lines that I had read in this chapter was, if you don't know the mind, you cannot meditate. And this simple truth would blow out of the water the majority of teachers and students of meditation, because everyone is teaching and practicing meditation without knowing the mind. So let's focus on what we're not. In the Upanishad, there is a common teaching of what we're experiencing called the Hridaya Granthihi. Show me your Hridaya. Point to it. Heart. Show me Granthihi. This is Granthihi, tied up and tight. That's what our hearts are feeling. And here our hearts would be happiness. Our happiness is tied up and it's tight. there's spurts of it, but that's it. The three knots of the heart are known as avidya, kama, karma. Avidya means ignorance, kama means desire, and karma means action. Okay? Now, this is a small model. I'm going to open up this framework for you. This is important. Please try to remember and write this down. Avidya is expressed as vasana. I'll share this with you in Sanskrit and then in English. Vasanas are then expressed as eshanas. Eshana. That S is just English plural, okay? Avidya, vasana, eshana. Eshana is expressed as vritti, and vritti is expressed as karma. You got 5. Okay, so now I'll share this in English. The English word for avidya is separation. When you feel separate, this is expressed as feeling small. A vasana makes you feel finite and not infinite, correct? So vasana is small. This is expressed as sad. You feel sad. Like a bully is someone who feels small inside. So what do they feel sad. So they go about bullying people. How we get bullied is with our desires. Our desires bully us around. Sadness is expressed as stress, which we call vritti. The more desires you have, the more thoughts you have, right? The less desires you have, the less thoughts you have. The more thoughts you have, the more stress you have. And stress is expressed as feeling stuck. All day, every day, we go on acting. How many of you are physically tired right now? Some of you are not physically tired. That's because you're on the West Coast. Your day's only 2/3 done. How many of you are mentally tired today? And now the West Coast people have their hands up. Now, this is just Tuesday, and we're not even at the end of the year. It's not even snowing in the Northeast yet. And that physical and mental tiredness is there. And, we may be 40, 50, 60 years old. When will this end? Now I'm supposed to be 65, and I'm supposed to have less of that physical and mental tiredness, but I feel more physically and mentally tired. That feeling of being stuck. Okay, so this framework's important because as I analyze this, I don't want to be stuck. And this idea of feeling small, I keep reading that I'm Brahman, my last thought's aham brahmasmi. The more we know these details, the more I know what I'm not. Okay, so this framework serves that purpose. Now, here's a really beautiful thought. The avidya, vasana, eshana, vritti, karma is really the same feeling, just expressed in different ways. It's the same feeling. At the intellect level, it's felt like this. At the mind level, like this. Deeper than the intellect level, but it's the same. It's one rupa, one feeling, but many namas. Okay? Why is this beautiful? How are we going to start to work with this framework? You obviously have to start with that which is accessible. You can't work with that which is inaccessible, correct? If you go to a convenience store and they don't take a debit or credit card, it's not accessible. You may have huge amounts of money, but it's not accessible. But the person who has a $5 bill, that person's ahead of the game, right? That's accessible to them. It's cash. So tell me, which is accessible between these 5 layers. The karma is accessible, correct? And we've already studied this. The conscious is an expression of the subconscious, which is an expression of the unconscious. Conscious is your actions, subconscious is your mind, unconscious is your ego. So this chapter is sharing really the in-life part. Yes, this is not meditation out of life. This is meditation in life. In life, we have to access our karmas. And accessing our karmas means being intentional. Being intentional with every one of your actions. Every one of your actions. You start with the major ones, but slowly that should trickle to your minor ones. Now, for all of those on social media, interestingly, I had posted a rad today relating to this. Even though I hadn't read this chapter, intention plus action equals, remind me what that equation is. It is purification. That's right. Okay, so here's another question for you. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, why is Prince Arjuna afraid? Chapter 1 is about fear. Chapter 2 is about the reason he's afraid. So why is he afraid? Because he is selfish. Yes, he is selfish. Now tell me that in Sanskrit. What does selfishness mean? How do you describe that in Sanskrit? In Vedanta? Ahankara, vasana. Now you're just throwing out words that I've already given you. It is called sakama karma. Sakama karma. His karma is with selfishness. In other words, it's not intentional, correct? So Bhagavan Krishna starts to teach him in chapter 3, you should engage in nishkama karma, which really is, forget about this Sanskrit formation, it's nishkama karma. It means to act intentionally. Okay? Nishkama karma. This chapter of meditation and life is actually subtly giving us the 4th S. How many S's are there in the preparation for meditation? How many S's? There are 5. How many have I given you so far? 3, because I just told you this is a 4th. So logically, you would have figured that out. What's the first S? Space. Second S? Seat. Third S? Sanctum. Your 4th S is senses. Senses. In your space, on your seat, in front of your sanctum, you now have to neutralize your senses. How do we go about doing that? How do you neutralize what you hear? Like Vyasa right now, in his room, we have a white noise player. It's just a machine that sucks in air and blows out air, like a fan. So he's neutralizing my annoying voice or Shuka's crying with that white noise, correct? In our space, if there's a noise that is jarring, that is taking our attention away, ideally the environment should be quiet. And if you wake up at 3 a.m., I promise you your environment will be quiet. If you wake up at 9 a.m., I promise you your environment will not be quiet. Play background music without words. Key is no words. So don't play Om Namah Shivaya or Gayatri Mantra in the background. What I do sometimes in a very loud area is I'll play Hari Prasad Chaurasiya, light flute music. It neutralizes sound. Next is touch in order. How do you neutralize what you're touching? When you're in contemplation, what are you touching? What's touching you? No one should be touching you, okay? This is not a journey you're going to hold on to someone's hand. Your clothing is a primary material that's touching you, and so your clothes have to be so loose that you don't know that you're wearing clothes. Understood? So as an example, if you have really tight socks on right now, compression socks, you feel them, correct? But if you're wearing loose socks that you may sleep in, then you don't feel those socks right now. Your clothing should be like that. Now, I hope you're tuning into the lifestyle point here. Suppose you're going to the office or to the meeting, and you have to wear a blazer. Should you be contemplating in your blazer? All you'll be feeling is the tightness on your shoulders, right? So again, that means you have to contemplate much earlier than when you have to go to work, correct? So that's touch. Next is sight. Your space should not be too bright nor too dark. If it's too bright, you'll feel activated. If it's too dark, you'll feel lethargic. It should be dim. The lighting should be dim. When you close your eyes, it shouldn't be like a Bolivar student. When I ask Bolivar students, okay, close your eyes, half of them, I don't know what happens, they stare at me more. Like, I just don't know what they're registering when I say close your eyes. And then the other half, they're squeezing their eyes so much. I feel hurt seeing how tight their eyes are. It should be like there's a sigh of relief and you've closed your eyes and you don't open them again. Next subtlest is taste. If you contemplate right after you have cereal with hemp hearts and almond milk, as you're contemplating, you're really thinking, I put too many hemp hearts. They're stuck in my teeth right now. Or why almond milk? There's coconut milk and so on and so forth. So now the lifestyle point here is, number one, brush your teeth. Mouthwash is not a substitute for brushing your teeth. Number two is that you have to do this before you eat. Yes? And finally is your sense of smell. Now, how do you neutralize smell? If you're up at 3 o'clock, there'll be no smell coming from the kitchen. But if there is a smell, then for all of you who were part of the Facebook Live session yesterday, how did I begin yesterday's Vedanta in Minds? I said, what do you have to convert? From what to what? And we do this in Sanatana Dharma all the time. What is a symbol of conversion? It is burning agarbatti. Yes. When you burn agarbatti, it goes from a solid to a gas, correct? The solid signifies a value. The gas signifies a virtue. Got it? Values are in a book. They're in a controlled environment. It's this big. But when you start to burn it, you convert it, as in you practice it, it spreads everywhere then. It goes with you then. If there's strong smells, now agarbatti, most of the agarbatti we have is even stronger than the smell of an onion or a carrot. So you should have those fancy oils with those sticks, like, those vanilla sticks that slowly release that smell. You should put that far away so that that smell is neutralized. You got the fourth S. Now, this is what you're supposed to do in your space, but this chapter is teaching us that if we're engaged in intentional action and selflessness, our senses will naturally be neutralized. When you are frustrated, you want to eat more, not less. When you are angry, you want to watch more TV, not less. Yes? And on and on and on. But if you've had a dynamic day, very intentional, when you come home at night or it's the end of the day, you want to read more. You want to sleep early because you want to do it again the next day, correct? So that's what this chapter is highlighting. And I'll share one more really lovely thought about knowing what you're not so that you know what you are. Ramayana really kicks into a new gear with Shurpanakha. And Shurpanakha, she wants to marry Sri Lakshmana and Bhagwan Rama really at the same time. And eventually Bhagwan Rama orders Sri Lakshmana to protect Mother Sita. And Sri Lakshmana cuts certain parts of Shurpanakha off. Show me what he cuts off. Okay, most of you are just saying her nose. Yes, he cut off her ears and nose. Ears and nose. All of our senses can be closed other than your ears and nose, correct? You can close your skin essentially. I'm not touching anything. My eyes, my mouth. And so that cutting off is symbolic of Shurpanakha's raga, or attachment, and Sri Lakshmana is vairagya. It is when you live a life of I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, then you don't live for objects anymore. As long as you feel that you are, I'm the senses, then obviously you're going to live for objects. And the mind will never work with you. It will always be your enemy. Okay? I hope you're able to make those final connection points.
If you enjoyed what you heard or want to learn more, share this episode with a friend or find us online at facebook.com/CM Niagara. For those on the journey of self-development, Chinmaya Mission Niagara provides a community forum for seekers to listen, reflect, and contemplate. This podcast is produced by the Young Adults of Chinmaya Mission, an international nonprofit working to transform individuals through the knowledge of Vedanta. Until next time, inspire, love, be.